Hello and welcome to an So Awesome review, and today we're looking at the Halo Spartan Collection Cat B320, also known as Noble 2, which is exciting to get a member of Noble Team because I believe Mattel completely missed out on that entire thing. They just went for the Halo 5 figures and that was that, but this figure does look good. The sculpt work, just like on Chief, is all there though. There are some paint, I wouldn't say mishaps, it's just some areas where she's missing some paint. The blue maybe isn't the right tint. I don't know. I feel like it's too dark. But aside from that, let's actually jump onto some accessories here. And first she comes with her unhelmeted head. Paint could be better, but it is nice to see a cat without the helmet. It's a nice bonus. So her helmet doesn't have the nice glossy foil thing on it, which she does come with the air assault helmet as she wears in the game. Again, no gloss, but it's fine, I guess. Or no, shiny, I should say. It does come with the two-finger thing, which, again, I'm still not even sure what this is, so leave it down in the comments below. But one fist for the right arm, no left fist, unfortunately. It is what it is, it's fine. She does come with two trigger fingers, which I think is more important for a Spartan anyway, though the fingers are always so weird to me because they point forward. They're not actually triggers, they're just kind of pointing fingers, and it's cool. I'm confused about that. But anyways, it does come with her Kamehameha hands, which look amazing. And then aside from that, she does come with the M6G Magnum, which can go on her hip with a little peg that you can flip in and out just like before. And then lastly, she does feature the M6V Spartan laser that she can carry on her back. And again, Spartan laser looks amazing. Magnum looks amazing, detail is there. So moving on to some QC issues and articulation really quick, I do want to talk about the fact that her right arm cannot hold up the Spartan laser. You put it in there and it just tends to fall. So let's actually see if I can do this on camera really quick. Even when you put it on the shoulder, she kind of just starts to lean forward. If you hold it up with the other hand, it goes, but, well, that was just the gun falling down. But normally she can't hold the weight of the Spartan laser. Her arm will just kind of sink down to her side, which is a little disappointing. I wish that wasn't an issue with the figure, especially considering it's the weapon she came with. You would think, okay, she can definitely hold it, but not really. The joints on these two are slightly different, so I don't know if I can even pop this one off to kind of try and tighten it or not. I'm sure there's a way, but it's a lot smaller. It looks a lot tighter than this one, which this arm pops off like nothing. I mean, like absolutely nothing, but she can still hold the weight of it. So I guess that's, you know, something to be happy about. I doubt she'd be able to hold Spartan laser on that hand by itself. I haven't actually tried, but yeah, some more issues to look out with. Other things she has is her diaphragm joint is really loose. It doesn't want to stay forward unless you kind of sit there and force it forward. And then she can get a good standing up straight pose. It looks fine like this, but more often than not, it's leaning back and it just wants to stay leaning back. But it does give you a good range of motion, which we'll see in a second. And the only other issue, I know there's too many of them, right here is that this leg is a little weak, right there. Yeah, whereas this one, you can hear the ratchet actually. So, again, minor issues. I want to say not as bad as Chief, considering his arm did not want to hold its own weight right out of the package. And the fact that even though she does tend to lean back, at least I can kind of force that joint forward and it'll stay there. But all issues that need to be addressed in further waves, and hopefully will be. Again, this is like their first wave. This is their first time doing these figures, so I can give them a break this one time because it's not horribly deal breaking, and your mileage will vary between figures. I'm sure not all of you will have the issue of her arm not being able to hold the Spartan laser. I'm sure not everybody will have the same issue with the leg right there, or possibly even the diaphragm joint kind of falling back. You may not have that issue. I definitely do. Aside from that, she is missing some paint. This should be blue right here on there. It should be more of a faded color going up to her legs. So there's minor things that they didn't get exactly right from the game, which I am definitely going to try to paint up and fix. I feel like even her blue in some lights doesn't look right to me, but it's really hard to tell. I feel like it should be a little bit lighter than this color. Even in the game, if I'm correct, you can't actually get her color blue. Her main thing was the extra little part on her helmet, and the color blue, which like set her apart from all the other Spartans, aside from the arm that she lost. But I'm pretty sure if she had a choice on that one, she wouldn't have lost that arm. And like I said before, this just pops off kind of like the Chief's, and then turns around, and you can plug in the pistol or any other side arm. It is a lot bigger, it's a lot thicker on here, so it actually stays in, unlike Master Chief's, which tends to pop off. This one I've actually had the opposite issue where I pulled the gun off and this comes with it, so I think that's the way they're going to solve that in the future, hopefully. And then she does have peg holes here on the feet in the bottom, which is good. Master Chief did not come with these at all. Don't know why, but he doesn't. The Red Spartan, he does. So I guess it's a choice they decided later. I'm assuming Chief was probably their first prototype. They went with it, and then these other characters came next. And, you know, I guess they just kind of forgot to add those peg holes in there. Which, again, not deal-breaking, but it is nice to have these, especially since they can sometimes be a little bit harder to stand. Just, you know, it makes things easier, and I appreciate it. Anyways, let's move on to some articulation. So starting off with the head here, she can look up that much, which isn't bad at all. The helmet definitely helps with that. She can look down a really good amount. Left, right. She can pivot side to side. So her head articulation might actually be better than Chief's, and she does have that extra head, which we'll pop on in a second to show how that works and everything. But arm-wise, can go up that much for both of them. So pretty equal considering they're both slightly different arms, but the armor, I wouldn't even say gets in the way. If anything, it's just, I guess it stops it from going all the way up, but I mean, that's good enough, especially for what this character is. Anyways, rotation around here, rotation here at the elbow for side to side, and then that single jointed elbow for the robotic arm. Hinges for both hands, which should be the other way around, but whatever. Rotation at the arm. And then this one does have the double jointed elbow, which can go all the way in, so you can see the differences right there. I wish this one could go in. And this one's upper arm rotation is here instead of at the elbow where it is on this one. Right there. Ab-wise, can't go back that much, but again, it's really loose. Can go forward that much, which is basically straight and what you want it to be normally. And again, it just, you need to force it to stay there. She can pivot side to side a bit and rotate side to side. Then she does have that waist rotation right there. Legs can go out that much, which isn't too bad. It's not great, but it's alright. Leg can kick forward that much, which is, again, just pretty much okay. Double jointed knee that does that much right there. Not bad. Again, this is a little bit loose. And then she does have slight rotation at the upper thigh. And she does have that back and forward and pivot at the ankle, and that ankle pivot right there, which I just said twice. But yeah, again, not the best, but definitely not the worst. I really hope they improve on these and that they keep, you know, fixing these little minor issues, especially with the joints and everything. And as you can see, getting her to stand, not the easiest, but she does have those peg holes, which will help, especially if you have stands or something to put it on. So glad they did that. And actually, let's switch off the head and put on her regular head. So here's Kat with her civilian head, and she can look up that much, which is pretty much the same she can do with her helmet, and then look down that much. So it's fine. Not as much pivot, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. Can look left and right. The face paint could be better. I think the sculpt is fine, but the head, the paint could definitely be a lot better. But aside from that, not bad at all. So for a quick size comparison with her own line, here she is next to Master Chief and the Spartan Mark 7. And you can see she is shorter than both. And Mark 7 is actually shorter than Chief, which I'm liking. I'm liking that they're keeping the scale kind of consistent to the games. You know, Chief is a taller character. He's not the tallest Spartan, but he is up there. So it is nice to see him having a little bit of height over both of these. And all three of these look really good together. I am just missing that white Spartan. Hopefully I can find it. I did see it when I picked up the two on the left, Chief and Kat, but I didn't pick it up, and I really regret it now, because as many issues as they have, I'm really liking the series, and I'm liking seeing these figures together, and I'm already having so many ideas of what I'm going to do for a photography episode, so I'm excited. I'm excited. And here are a few more comparisons with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lightning Collection Red Ranger and the Spider-Man Marvel Legends action figure. You can see here she is taller than both of them. Pretty accurate, 6-inch scale, so she's about 7 feet tall. Fits, looks good. Love it. Moving on. And lastly, here she is next to a NECA Predator and the McFarlane Azrael Batman armored figure, which I will be doing a video on pretty soon. As I said before, they're not in scale with the McFarlane figures, at least the McFarlane Batman figures. They're way too short for them. I mean, in a way, they don't look off, but then when you put into their actual height and everything, yeah, they're definitely way too small to be compared to the McFarlane line. But with Predator, again, I always feel like those figures should be bigger because they're bad guys, they're aliens. I don't know the actual height. Again, they could be off. Maybe they should be closer together. I don't really know. But I think it looks pretty good, and they will definitely look good in photographs together, which is what I'm planning pretty soon. But anyways, let's just wrap things up. So first off, apologies for having the last 3 clips out of focus. I didn't notice until right now that I'm editing. But anyways, is this figure worth it? Well, the sculpt work is all there. The paint apps that are applied to it look good. Yeah, it's missing some paint here and there where there should be some. Again, the blue I feel like should be just a little bit lighter, and then the face sculpt, you know, could be painted a little bit nicer. The sculpt is there. The work on all that looks amazing, so I can't really knock it for that. Yes, there are QC issues which are annoying. They're never fun, you know. It's always kind of a gamble when you go and pick up a figure, especially from a company that's just started a new line. So it's a little bit up in the air. If you want to try it out, go for it. If you're a fan of Cat, if you're a fan of Noble Team or Halo Reach, again, I would say go for it, but, you know, be aware that some of these issues may or may not affect you. It's not, you know, for certain that you're going to get one with a weak joint anywhere. I mean, like I said, Spartan Mark 7, the red one, perfectly fine on mine. Everything works, so it's up in the air. We'll see how things go with the next wave of figures. But that's pretty much all I have to say here. I will be doing some mods and maybe some paints to this. Maybe not mods, but yeah, I'm probably going to be painting this up. So look out for a video on that and for a review of Mark 7. And hopefully I'll find 5 so I can get one of those up. And then, you know, one of the 3 3/4 inch figures. If I can get my hands on all of them, that would be great. But we'll see how things go. Anyways, that is my review for Cat. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.